Welcome back to another episode of the Classics in Conversation. Today, we're joined by not one but two special guests. So as usual, it's your hosts, me and Georgie from the Valkyries, and we've got Ben and Luke from Horror and Cleaver. So Ben, Luke, tell us who you are and what you do.
My name is Luke, and this is Ben. And
my name is Ben, and this is Luke. There it is.
We are also podcasters and horror film fans. We have a podcast called the Horror Hangout where we watch the best and worst horror movies of all time and then talk about them. And we do short horror story podcasts and make comic books and try to dabble in as many things that we can dabble in. Is that everything, Ben?
We love a good dabble. I think you covered everything there, Luke. Very well done. Everything that was in my mind, you just splurged out there.
Sorry.
Perfect.
Excuse me.
Congratulations.
Perfect unison.
That's good. Don't apologise. Don't apologise at all. Just makes my job a lot easier. But yeah, that's it. We like horror films. We do a podcast every single week. We've been doing it for a while now. Horror Hangout. I think it's coming up to the 4th year now.
Wow.
No.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
You haven't aged a day. It's incredible, right?
Oh, if only you knew the truth. I've aged horribly. So 4 years. I think it was like March 2017 was when we first ventured out there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So kind of 4 years, and I don't think we're sick of it yet, are we, Luke?
No, I enjoy it. I think it's the nice little.
It's good.
I mean, it's a good excuse to sort of watch a new horror film,
Yeah.
or rewatch a horror film every week. But also, it's just a nice time to sort of hang out and talk to your friends about stuff.
Ah.
The hangout part is the nicest, especially in the middle of lockdown 3.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's nice to be able to all come together for like an hour, a couple of hours every week and chat crap.
We all know the best bit is the name game at the end, okay? That's the best
The
bit.
name game.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
Thank you.
We might have some name game things to happen at the end of this one as an homage to you guys.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
Interesting, because I've also prepared some name game questions.
Oh, yeah! What?
I hope
wonder
they're
if we
better
use
than
the
your
same-
Jennifer's Body ones, mate.
I wonder if we've used the same rhymes.
I'm very intrigued.
That's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yours are pretty niche sometimes, Luke. So Georgie, you absolutely nailed it on the Jennifer's Body episode, didn't you?
What can I say? What can I say?
She knows the source material very well.
This is true. This is true.
Ah.
Because I usually think I'm pretty good at it, but that time you had me beat. So
Do you were you brought up in a household around lots of puns and like bad jokes and
Oh,
stuff?
Heather's met my dad. She knows that's completely.
Yeah.
I was trained from a
Oh
young
yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
I think. That was-
Gaza is keen on it, isn't he? Bless him.
He is. Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Big Gaza.
Big gas.
Oh,
Yeah.
babe. Well, sweet back. So, what's been your favourite film to talk about in the Hangout?
Oh.
Now,
Dunno.
like not overall, just in the Hangout sense. So it can be a film that you're not even that fond of.
Well, we recently we did something that it was a big
I was
point.
gonna say, is it the one? Is it the big one that you did recently?
Yeah, I mean, it's like the big question throughout most of our show is Congo a horror movie or not? And then we did it. I thought I was going to enjoy the movie more than I actually did. I'd like it, but it's gone down in my estimation a little bit. But it's gone up in Ben's, I think. He gave it like an A+ or something.
Oh, I love it.
Gosh.
I think not an A+. I didn't go that far. I mean, an A.
Yeah.
Still, that's pretty damn
Still
high.
pretty high. Yeah.
Still pretty
Yeah.
high. I think for me, it's the bad ones that we tend to have the most fun with.
Yeah.
And usually when there's like 3 of us as well, I think that always kind of goes a bit nuts, and we end up going down ridiculous rabbit holes and off on crazy tangents that last forever. So the bad ones are pretty good. I've enjoyed things like Uwe Boll's Alone in the Dark. That was a pretty.
Have you guys seen Alone in the Dark?
I have not.
Yes.
Don't think you should watch it.
Bullet dodged. Yeah. Mm.
Well, it dodged.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun episode.
Yeah. Oh, we do the quizzes as well, which you guys know about. They're always good.
Yeah,
They are always good.
Andy
Can
is
confirm.
like the king of the quizmaster. Like,
Yeah.
them questions.
And Andy was like a listener friend who sort of would come on every now and again, but then would come on more frequently. And now he's kind of like a regular co-host. Like he jumps on every couple of weeks, I think now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's also coming on the next episode of the Classics.
There you go.
He
Yeah.
is, isn't he?
He gets everywhere.
He
that boy.
is
He
soon going to be
do.
the third co-host. I'd watch out for that. He'll be on every week from now on.
Yeah. He'll be like, suddenly we broke all of our guidelines, but Andy's here.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think that's his plan, to infiltrate every film podcast.
It's like that kid in like a yearbook, and he's in the back of like every photo.
Background of every photo, yeah.
It's just Andy and like one of the dogs. Like,
Yeah.
I love it.
oh. Okay, let's get to it then. So we're talking about The Thing. So I did a rewatch this week, as I think you guys did as well.
Yeah, I watched it last night.
So we're all pretty fresh in the minds. So first of all, then, what are your opinions on the film?
I'll let you go first, Ben.
It's one of my favorite horror movies. It's one of my favorite movies.
Ooh.
Loads of fond memories. Loads of fond memories from like seeing the VHS on a shelf at home and being like really intrigued. Could I watch that, please, Mum? No, it's too scary. And I was like, well, I'm gonna watch it then. I'm gonna watch it behind your back, which is what I think I did. I remember being like warned by my dad, like saying, "Don't watch that. It's terrifying." I was terrified by it.
That's literally my my exact story about how I watched Dog Soldiers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good shout. It's a good film to pick though.
Something about when a parent like warns you off of a film. I mean, I know it's kind of like not just films, anything really, isn't it? A parent warns you off of it, and you're like, "Well, I'm just going to do it now, just to make a point." And it was kind of like that with films. My mum warned me about The Exorcist, and my dad warned me about The Thing. So I kind of it was those two films that I held in the highest regard of. I know they're going to terrify me, and they both lived up to that expectation and became one of my favorite horror movies.
Yeah, I think I don't think I watched it as a kid. I think I'd seen images and always thought that looks terrifying and cool. So I think I'd kind of built the film up in my head. And then when I finally watched it in my early teens, I guess, it was way better than I could have even imagined. And it's just, when I put it on last night, I was like, I think it might be too close to the time I watched it before to give it the proper appreciation. But it's even better. It's so good. It's so easy to get into. It's such a solid film. Like the atmosphere just seems to get richer and richer every time we watch it. The stuff that kind of dates it, like the practical effects or the authentic sort of synthy sounds where the aliens are talking, they just they give it like a vintage sort of authentic feel now that it's just going to get better and better with age, I think.
Nice. Georgie?
So yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
It's
all right.
It's all right.
Yeah.
I love it. I think The Thing is one of the very, very few films that makes me break my like cardinal rule of horror of don't show the thing you're supposed to be scared of, because oh my god, I love it. It's just so visceral and gross and like you said, Luke, so retro. Now you're looking at it and you're like, this is so terrible. Like, I mean, at the risk of treading on the toes of what we're going to talk about, the bit with the dog and the animatronic dog, just like a stuffed toy, like I love it. It's so good. Yeah. But I think you're right. It just gets better and better. It doesn't lose anything with its aging, I don't think.
Yeah. I think on this watch, I was appreciating the score so much that I've been listening to it constantly today. I've always liked it, but I don't know, for some reason, like the howling winds, the sort of drony, synthy sounds, it works.
The score is just incredibly subtle.
Yeah.
It's almost like if you listen to it on its own, it would probably not have half of the impact it does alongside the film, like because there isn't all that much going on in it, but it just builds that atmosphere like amazingly. And Kurt Russell is a dreamboat in this film, and that beard is magnificent.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because we ask on the socials for like people to let us know that what their thoughts are, and we read them out at the end of the show. One particular from a Georgie Broad was that young Kurt Russell was dead fit, so that's why she likes the thing.
Hey, did you know, fun fact, it took him 1 whole year to grow out his hair and beard for the filming of the film.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting, yeah.
But back to
I feel like Luke's trying to
cinematography.
measure how quickly he's getting a Kurt Russell beard.
His beard isn't that long though, is it? For a year.
It's not. No, I think it was more the hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been trying for years now.
The beard's just got a lot of volume.
Yeah.
The beard is incredible. You get lost in that. You get lost in it.
I would like
too
to.
close.
Yeah, that's where Childs went, snuggled into his beard.
Yeah, it's true. Where's he been? In the beard?
Napping.
Yeah.
Napping.
He's like lost outside, but we all know he was up here. He was fine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He was with us this whole time.
Just safely nestled away. Now that we've discussed the beard,
Important stuff.
the very important stuff, you kind of like talked about it a little bit with the practical effects. So we were going to talk a bit about the different sort of horror themes that make up. So I think there's quite a few. Like, I don't think there's necessarily like one, maybe like, I don't want to say subgenre. Like, I went with theme, so like, that it kind of sticks to. Like, I think it hits loads of different like markers really well. And I don't know about you guys, but I got like big society vibes from like the fleshiness of the people like post thing, if you know what I mean. Like, I was trying to think like how best to describe them after they've been thinged.
Yeah, assimilation. I think like the hive mind sort of thing.
Yeah,
they've been thinged.
When they've been thinged, they reminded me of society.
Wet and
shiny and wet, and I was like, grim.
It makes me want to watch Society again. I've not seen it for a long time.
Yeah,
you only need the last 10 minutes anyway of that film.
Yeah. But I'd forgotten as well, like how, like I found the dog scene really stressful. Like I was watching it and I was just like, I could do without like this first little bit. They all look so sad. And like
trying to escape through the fence is
when he's like chewing the fence.
Did they use like licorice fence wires or something? How do you get the dog to do that? Like, dog treats.
Right.
Smackos.
It's just like a well painted bit of like dog food.
And then it shoots the dog with the it like flowers and then spurts that like acid stuff on the dog, digestive juices.
Yeah. And the
it
dog
is horrendous.
It's
full
horrid.
demigorgon, doesn't it? And then climb flower straight away. Yeah.
And then a second head appears on that dog. I always thought about that about the thing. So like that head it like erupts, and then when they go to it later on, it's got the dog head again coming out of its back, and also
but like a bald, fleshy one.
It always does the double head thing because when it's I can't remember his name now. One of the guys whose head comes off and becomes a spider head.
Oh yeah.
He gets another head in his stomach. Yeah.
I thought that. Yeah.
And like the very first guy you see as well has two heads. Like the Norwegian guy has two heads as well. Yeah, so that's a really good point.
Is it going to be duplicating people?
I think with the Norwegian guy we see in the prequel what happened, and I think it's like the thing was like replicating him, and it crawled onto the back of him and stuck to him. So I think half of him is still half of him is the thing, and half of him is the human dude.
Yeah,
I think
that's a good scene. That's a good little horror moment in the prequel.
Yeah, and the prequel's not terrible. It's definitely watchable. I mean, it is a bit beat for beat and play by play, very similar to the original, but it gets a lot right. There's a lot more CGI than there is practical effects from the original, but it's still watchable. Mary Elizabeth Winstead's in it, and who else? I mentioned someone else the other day. That Australian dude.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah,
that guy.
Yeah,
Joel or Josh or something.
One of the Edgertons.
That's it.
Joel
One of the
Edgerton,
Joel Edgertons.
Yeah.
It's got a good cast, and it crosses over nicely, doesn't it, with the start of this film as well? Like it ends and then.
Oh, it ends just as that one starts, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So
and actually features a woman, which this one does not.
We have a voice on the chess computer.
Yeah, and that was enough. Oh yeah, that should be enough. So there you go.
But then. Wait, that's the computer that Max shoves his drink into, right?
Yeah. He promptly destroys it after about 2 sentences.
Yeah. No females.
Get it out of here, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Literally.
They're watching a video at one point, like a quiz show, aren't they? and then with a young
Maybe they
lady
were
on
worried
the
that they were
Cleaver.
making it like too sexy.
God, we're being spoiled right now. The chess lady, the quiz show lady.
That's enough. You guys have had enough. All right.
The
Names,
most beautiful thing here has to be Kurt Russell. Stop it! Stop looking at ladies.
Right.
It just makes me
Appreciate
think
that hair.
about John Carpenter's films. They're all quite like overtly masculine. No, I can't think of any that are female led.
Halloween.
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 Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The big
Oh
one.
yeah.
Other than
Maybe
that-
he was like, okay, I've done my 6 men.
Enough of that. Yeah.
One woman is fine.
Yeah.
Maybe he only did it
More
because
than
he
most,
cast
to be fair.
Jamie and he thought Jamie was a boy.
Yeah. He was like,
Yeah,
Jamie,
Sam-
Lee, Curtis. It's got to be a boy.
there's 2 boys' names. Yeah. That's what happens. It cancels out. So then.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Like thematically, I always read about there's stuff about anti-authoritarianism or some sort of Cold War stuff going on. I don't get any of that. I think it's really about how you should never thaw old meat from the freezer. You should just leave it or get rid of it because it never
I know
comes
what?
out good.
Yeah.
Comes out, something
Yeah.
happens.
That's,
Don't even
That's
thaw
the-
out your veg because it loses the essential nutrients. You know. That's
I
what
think we could probably
John
finish
Carpenter's really
here.
going.
I was wondering like what
We're
I
not
was
gonna-
gonna make for like the trailer of this show, but it's that whole
You
thing
get something
there.
out of freezer. You're like, what? I don't remember putting this in. It's a thing.
Perfect.
Somewhere.
It's gonna take over you.
John Carpenter's
life.
going to go. Someone finally understands the thing.
I'm gonna.
Thank
This
God.
is true. I'm
You
gonna
got
tag
like
him in it on
salmonella poisoning
Instagram
once.
and be
It's
like,
like,
At John Carpenter.
John Carpenter, we've solved it. We've solved the thing.
yeah.
Not
He
when
calls
we said
himself-
you were sexist, but this bit is like this bit.
Yeah, sorry.
He's really modest. He calls himself at the Horror Master on all socials.
Yeah. I have a feeling that was
Honest.
Sandy, his sort of pub PR. Is
Yeah.
she his wife? I get confused. Sandy King
think so.
Carpenter. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's quite active on socials and stuff.
Weird if she had the same surname as him and she wasn't married to him.
I get the feeling that John
Right.
Carpenter
Too far.
doesn't do anything but play
John
games.
Carpenter probably gave it her. He was like, "You work for me now, so you have this part. Like I
Yeah.
own you." So here you go.
Yeah. I'm lying though. He hasn't let it go to his head. I've seen loads of interviews with him where he's like slated other horror directors who have become like big Hollywood names, and he's just like,
He's
got no
actually
time
kind
for
of
it.
yeah. He's got no time for like
Mm.
what's the like flower like building stuff, saying it's more than it is. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't seem to think he's done anything special. Also, he called Eli Roth out and he said he had Hollywood hair, which I thought was really fun.
I like
I
that.
respect that in a big
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. What's he doing with Kurt Russell then? If he doesn't like that shiny hair, like crazy.
Yeah,
Kurt Russell was
Let-
actually the last person to be cast in that film, you know. So he helped on the production, full of like tidbits,
I love this.
He
These little
helped.
facts coming out.
on the production of the film for like quite a long time. And they had loads of different people kind of try out for that role. And Kurt Russell was actually the last person to be cast. John Carpenter was like, I've worked with you
Well-
before. You're not difficult. Go ahead. You know, we've helped with the production. Might as well. So a
Oh,
beautiful
also-
friendship.
go on.
Also, Kurt has 2 men's names in his name, so he's doubly
Ah,
as
the
good.
perfect
This-
guy.
If you know anything about John Carpenter, he likes people with boys' names. As many boys'
Double
names as he can
barrel
get
boys'
in as
name.
possible. Jamie Lee Curtis, Kurt Russell.
Oh my
I
god.
think it's mainly Kurt Russell.
He
for all
needs
of
to like make a film with like Chad Michael Murray. That'd be like the perfect one.
them. Yeah,
Jonathan Rhys Meyers
Yes.
can be in it. It's a good looking film
that's
shaping
good.
up to be, I think.
I'm excited for this one that we're creating.
Great.
yeah.
Daniel Craig. That's the only one I can think of.
Strong.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, yeah, it's happening.
That's the only one I can think of.
Is
I was
this the
like,
name
racking up-
game that we were playing? It's a whole new one.
Yeah.
I think that can then go on to speak to the cultural impact of
Ooh.
this film.
Very nice.
In that, I tell you what,
You've got us on track.
in that it's a film that so many people know about and so many people know bits from and scenes from, and so many people kind of know, oh that's Kurt Russell with the hair, it's from the thing. Even if you haven't seen the film,
Yeah.
you know the film, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially considering when it came out, it wasn't considered a success.
It was
Yeah.
like
And everyone was like, this
actively
is
panned,
shit.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Hand, didn't it? Yeah.
Can you imagine
And
being
it's-
one of those critics who panned it and then years later it became like the cult hit that it is? one of the best films ever made. But at the time, people what was the thing they said? Is this the most hated movie of all time? Was one of the headlines. You'd feel you cringe every time you thought back to that moment.
It came out the same year as E.T., didn't it? And apparently, when it came out, everyone was still going to the cinema to watch E.T. People couldn't get enough of him.
E.T.'s creepier than The Thing. Don't like E.T. No.
He is creepier. He is pretty creepy. He gets drunk in E.T. Do you remember that? When he's walking around in a shirt?
Yeah.
It's weird. Don't like it. No.
Have you been to on the ET ride in Florida in Disneyland?
I think
on the bike.
Small.
Yeah, on the bike. Yeah. So it's from the I think they made it in the 80s or the early 90s, and they haven't updated it since. It's like traveling through a melting VHS cassette. Like it's so weird. Even like feels like the tape's like bending and scratching and stuff.
You see it like burning. Yeah.
It's like nightmare fuel.
Yeah. It's like the Pirates of the Caribbean ride in Disneyland Paris. Like that's the one that was there when I went as like a 2-year-old. It's still there now, and I am 30. And you're like, is this safe?
Did they wrap you up in a towel in the ET ride, Luke, and put you in the basket?
No, but they say your name. Like as you go in, you tell a person your name, and they type it in. And then on the way out,
Elliot.
E.T. says, it's supposed to say your name, but it just came out to me like a...
Dial-up modem.
That's the official translation of your name in E.T.'s language.
Yeah.
Just a guff.
Go back over the intro when we introduce you. We'll go, and here we have...
with a K.
Yeah, with a
K. Yeah.
That does sound like, that sounds more horrific than anything that happens in this film, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I'm never going to forget it, to be honest. I'll go on it again just for that, just to experience it again.
Just to hear that pronunciation again.
Yeah. I don't think we could be there for long. You are, Ben?
Sorry, I was just going to go back. I was going to start talking about the thing again, but I don't know.
No, go.
No, please do. It's all right. Yeah, we'll circle back. We'll come back to theme parks in a bit.
What were we talking about before?
Say,
cultural impact. Okay, yeah.
Cultural impact is like huge. Have any of you guys played Among Us?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I haven't really, but my daughter's
I've not played it either.
But when she explained the concept of it to me, I just went, "Well, that's just the thing," and she was like, "What?" What you've explained there in that game is just the storyline of the thing. And she was just like, well, and I'm going to show you one day, but not now because you're 10. But
today's not that day.
Yeah,
today's not that day.
Yeah, you're right, though. It is. Like, you just have to sort of go do your little tasks, be doing your jobs. And then, someone's a murderer, but everybody's all full of distrust and accusing everybody and kicking people out into space.
Yeah.
It's just that paranoia, which is obviously a lot scarier in the thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Because and the body horror stuff has always been stuff that's really like got under my skin. I think even now, like how many times I've seen it, now I still see something. You know, when green pussy globules are spurting out and tentacles are flying around, I still like go, ooh.
It's amazing, really, because that bit where his head falls off, like as his head's like falling slowly to the floor. Like his mouth is like opening and closing, and then there's also like in the like little threads and there's like stuff popping and like fluids like bubbles burst. There's so much going on in that special effect, and you kind of go on, Georgie.
Go on, Georgie.
I have a tidbit about special effects if you want to hear it.
Yes, please.
Cool. So originally, I feel like a factoid machine. Originally, the budget was 10 mil for the film, with around, I think it was $200,000 allocated for special effects. However, upon completion, the budget had gone to $15 million, and $1.5 million of that was spent on special effects.
Nice.
Interesting. Yeah.
That's how we get the good stuff, like the really detailed, like the popping and the gross bits, the really detailed.
Yeah.
The guy who did the special effects was super young as well. I watched like a little
Rob Bottin, right? Is it Bottin or Poutine?
Bottin.
I said Bottin, but I like a Bottin.
It's Roeb Bottin. Yeah, super young, and like being on a huge film like this is just insane. I wonder what the 1.5 million extra stuff was, and what do they do? Just go down to the local.
It's the licorice fence for the dogs. specially painted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
licorice is expensive.
Yeah.
You always avoid it if you're getting it in a Tempe mix up or something like that.
Yeah.
I read as well that he was like super like humble about all of his stuff. Like he didn't really want to show it off because he was like, I've kind of made like this head with these little legs, but you know, if you didn't want to use it, it's fine. And then they'd be like, this is the best thing we've ever seen. Like,
Yeah.
He was just
He
super chill about
disappeared, didn't he? He's become a bit of a hermit or something, or no one knows sort of what he's up to. He studied under I can't remember his name, like the main special effects guy who did all the practical stuff. Rick
Baker?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Yeah, it's
They look the
interesting.
same as well.
They do look quite similar.
Another
They're the
conspiracy unearthed.
He made a clone.
Clearly.
it's just a clone. Yeah, he was like, you can do
So
this
good.
film.
I'm so good at special effects.
I'll make myself.
I've made a clone. I've made a clone.
That is
He's good at
special.
special effects as well. Yeah.
Definitely suspicious. I think the fact that like they put so much time and money and practicalness in those effects means that like it does still really work. Like CGI dates stuff like super bad, and as much as they do look like some of them like sticky bits look a bit like straws. So I was kind of watching it like, are you just a head made of straws?
Pipe cleaners.
Yeah. Like, oh my god, okay.
I've made things. I've watched Blue Peter. I've made stuff.
Yeah, like
I know
how
exactly
and
how
stuff
to
like that.
make
I'm
the
like,
head and the-
yeah. But I think it really still like it's still like a massive gore fest, like with all the various goos flying around, and I think that over like really heavy CGI is just gonna like sort of not date as quick and is gonna like still have an effect so many years later.
Can you imagine going to the cinema and you didn't really watch trailers back then, and then the dog's head unflowers? Like, what the? What's happening? Yeah, it's insane, really.
I mean, like, you can almost see why it wasn't like so well received, because everyone would be like, "What the shit is this?"
I don't understand it. I don't like it.
Yeah.
What are you? Yeah.
Even if you'd seen the like original version of this film, and you'd seen like a John Carpenter movie before, you still would not be even 10% prepared for what this film was going to be.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I just can't imagine that. And
Like, I don't think I was prepared the first time I saw it, and I'd seen like loads of like stills from it and knew all about it, but still actually sitting there and watching it, and it all happens like really quickly and a lot of it all the time. You're like, you come out of it at the end and you're like, fucking hell, like I need to sit down in the snow, like
in the
stress.
That's it. Like, I think a lot of it is circling kind of back to what we mentioned at the start is you can see like the stills and the pictures and stuff, and it's kind of like, oh, gross, cool, I love it. But when you pair that with the score, I mean, it's Ennio Morricone, it's always going to be like top tier. But when you pair that with the score and not all of the sound effects, some of the sound effects, like the bit when Bennings is outside in the snow and he kind of like does that really horrible scream. I love that. But then there's the bit when they're like axing down a door and the sound happens a square 3 minutes before the axe hits the wood. I'm like, maybe not. But I think that atmosphere that's created with the sound effects, with the wretched excess of viscera.
Nice.
Cinema.
The wretched excess of viscera.
Nice.
That's a nice way of putting it.
I've been writing a lot of essays.
That is a death metal band name.
Yeah.
Wretched excess viscera. I agree with you in terms of, but the combination with those sound effects, in terms of some of the sound effects that the alien makes, sometimes he sounds like he's underwater.
Yeah.
Stuff
That's
like
the one.
that. It's
Loved it.
it's just so freaky. It's just like the uncanny valley of things looking kind of human and then splitting open and flying everywhere.
It also reminds me of kind of 50s ray gun sort of noises. It's got like
yes.
Paired with like the sound effects and stuff, but also paired with the reactions of every character.
Yeah.
Like they're in complete and utter disbelief. Like obviously the best line is, "You gotta be fucking kidding me."
Yeah.
That is just what everyone's thinking at that time. I just want to go home.
So I've been in the snow for like 6 months or however long they've been there. He's like, I've had enough now. Why have I not flown off yet? Yeah.
What are your guys' like favorite scene or scenes in the film? Any particular standouts?
I've got so many.
My least favorite is anything with the dogs.
Yeah.
But
Is that because it's effective?
I think it's
because it feels quite real.
Yeah, because they look really sad, and I'm like,
Yeah.
just take the humans, leave the babies alone.
Yeah.
I must admit, I did spend the first I rewatched on Wednesday, and I did spend the first 20 minutes trying to figure out what kind of dog it was, because it was too tall to be like a normal husky, and I was like,
Yeah.
Turns out it's a Malamute.
I was going to say, did you find out?
Yeah. Of course I did.
Of course you did. Who am I talking to here?
I think I'm not sure in terms of like standout scenes. I like it when Kurt Russell at the end is in the freezer and like he's super manic and it's like in his eyes and his beard's a bit frozen and he's like really like he's got the dynamite and he's like a man on the edge. Like I like that.
Yeah.
Not for that reason.
I love the hot needle scene is just like unbelievable.
I think that's my favorite. Yeah.
So much tension, and it's funny as well.
It's funny. It's funny when they start doing like the 70s disco guy gets lifted into the air by his head.
Yeah.
And they start doing like a funny, like the, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's annoying because he had every chance to flamethrower the fuck out of that guy. And he decided that he was just going to wait, have a little look,
see what happens.
God, you're freaking looking. And the fact that he gets like, he must have been inseminated a little bit because obviously when he's in the corner afterwards, all slimy, he's kind of like turning and making some. He works quick. This film.
He does, doesn't he? He's efficient.
Yeah.
What about you guys for standouts?
I was going to say the sofa scene, because of that, because it's so tense, and I like how it's building up to make you think that a certain someone is a thing, but then it's the guy before. Don't know. It's really well done. It's like it's a perfectly directed little tense bit of cinema. It's cool.
Yeah.
So the needle scene was that what you just said, Luke?
Sorry? Yeah.
I love the fact that they continue with the test after it all kicks off as well.
Yeah, they're like, anyway, where were we?
Anyway, after that rude interruption, we still got two guys to test, and it's the reactions when they find out that those two dead guys were both not aliens either.
Yeah.
Like, well, that he's a human, so that makes you a murderer. It's like, well, he was gonna scalpel me in the neck. Had to be done.
Yeah.
What's that?
So I mean, I saw loads of in our Discord server, someone was saying, "I now know the ending. I know who was the actual thing at the end." I didn't look at their answer; they put it in like a spoiler thing. And to me, I'm not that interested in figuring out who the actual thing was. I kind of prefer it being left a little bit open.
Yeah, I like an open ending, and I like a sad ending. So I'm always quite glad that like this is just left like super ambiguous because there's a really good chance that they're probably just going to like freeze to death. But like,
I think Mac even says something like, "Let's just wait and see what happens."
See what happens.
Wait here for a bit. Yeah,
probably gonna freeze to death.
Probably gonna die. Well, they reworked the script I think 4 times in total regarding the ending because John Carpenter wasn't happy with it being so cut and dry apparently, and he wanted that element of this really grim, fatalistic ambiguity of even if one of you isn't the thing, you're probably just gonna die anyway, kind of thing. And
I think they made him do like a happy ending, didn't they?
Did they?
Or at least wrote one.
Yeah, I think there was one where everyone was like, everyone went back to safety. And they're like, no, bin it off. Sad endings are underappreciated, I think.
Did a big high five and a helicopter came down and they went, you never guess what's been happening here. Tell us on the way. I got a bruise on.
By the way, I'm a thing. End credit scene.
Yeah. At the end, it's just Kurt Russell like out of the side of the helicopter. I was like, I am Cthulhu now. It's fine.
His beard comes alive.
Did any of you guys play the PS2 game, which took place after the events of the movie?
No.
Oh, it's good. It's not like a classic. Still, it's fun, but it kind of leaves that ambiguity a bit, and you're kind of like trying to find answers about what happened. But yeah, it's a really good.
I feel like that'd be really fun as like a point and click adventure. Like you just sort of like going around all like the base and stuff, trying to figure things out.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's like really dark, and you can't really see what's going on, and the things come out of the shadows and that. But it's definitely worth checking out.
They should remake that. It feels like they could do that justice now with like the RE engine.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Counter something that Georgie said before, slightly, about seeing the creature. Because I am not like massively convinced that we ever actually see the real thing. We just see like a version, because everybody looks kind of different in their thinging.
Yeah, in the prequel we do see it, right? We see it right at the end in the spaceship. Or we see...
that's a good question.
I kind of feel like we see it.
I have an image now of it just sort of being there like,
it's just a little photo.
It's like a little photo of him
of his mum. Yeah. I think I don't even, but that made it harder to market as well. So if you've got the Aliens franchise, you've got the Xenomorph. Predator, you've got the Predator. The Thing, you've got I don't know, some squiggly bits. Like it's difficult to sort of pin that down and make a toy out of it. I'm sure they tried.
The toys just heads and like pipe cleaners.
Yeah, like it's literally called The Thing. It doesn't even have a name. It's not even addressed. And sorry, that speaks to the notion. I'm so sorry. I've literally written 5,000 word essays about this. The concept of horror in polar settings is really, really interesting. It's got a very long history. Look at things like Frankenstein. You know, it's got this massive Arctic frame around it. And the concept of horror set in the Antarctic was very much about the anti-human, in terms of theory, literarily. And I think this obviously is a perfect example of something being completely 100,000-year-old, buried in the ice, anti-human, takes humans over, completely decimates and destroys them. And I think that is just such an interesting take on like Gothic body horror. I just I love it. It's beautiful.
It's not a very common setting, really, considering how like isolating it is in real life. It's not like a hugely common horror setting, which I think is a shame.
30 Days a Night, maybe. That's kind of
that's a great film.
Great film, to be fair.
Is this I've never actually read At the Mountains of Madness, the Lovecraft story, but this that's a similar thing. So it's a polar exploration, and they find some ancient cosmic horror deities things, right? I'm trying to think what other literary kind of influences might be behind a film like this. I don't know.
You guys read Who Goes There? Like obviously the original.
No. I've not read it. No, I really want to though.
No, I've not read it.
Sequel. I think they kickstarted a sequel or something.
Have they?
Who went there?
Who went there?
Who was it?
There?
Who goes there?
Who was it?
I did a little look at the plot on Wikipedia, and it seemed the plot seems almost identical to the movie. And obviously the version.
Bless you.
Thank you.
The original version. Did you say Luke's?
It was my name.
I did a COVID test, and like since then I haven't stopped sneezing for like a couple of days.
Right.
How did they test you? With the needle and the blood?
Yeah, they tied you to a sofa, and they just said,
I went to the hospital and I sat on the couch, and then before I knew it, there was a flamethrower.
Amazing.
Anyway, sorry, carry on.
Georgie, what was that? Oh, go on, Ben. Sorry.
No, just from that novella, it looks like it's the same, pretty much the same story as this movie, and obviously they changed it a little bit with the original movie, which was called what? It's completely left my mind.
It was like the thing that something, wasn't it? It had the thing in it. The 51 film.
Yeah, normally like the thing that fell to earth.
Yeah.
So they pretty much just had a dude, didn't they, made up to look like a big Frankenstein type scary force. And he didn't really change. I don't think there was any assimilating. Not a single assimilation.
Oh,
he put on the guy's trousers. I haven't seen it. I imagine.
The Thing from Another World.
That's it.
That's it.
Because John Carpenter originally didn't want to come on board for the film because he really liked that film, the 51, The Thing That Fell to Earth, and he really liked kind of the way it captured a story. So he was really reluctant at first. Then someone was like, "Fam, read the book." The book. So he was like, so he read the book and was like, Okay, fine. Okay, I'll do it. It'll be fine. And then he loved the book, so he tried to keep it as close as he could to it, which I think's good on John.
Great.
Good on John.
The original film was made by Howard Hawks, who is John Carpenter's favorite filmmaker. He's like a Western filmmaker mainly. So I think when you see like vampires and all of the stuff, Ghosts on Mars, I think it's John trying to sort of recapture some of that Howard Hawks Western kind of vibe.
Yeah, like paying homage kind of thing.
Yeah. Which is probably why I gave Mac a cowboy hat. I can only imagine that's the only reason.
Yeah, a bit of eye candy.
Almost everyone in Mac's outfits is pretty badass, to be fair. He just combos of various different things. He's layering stuff up. He's got different goggles. He just suits everything.
Yeah.
This is the fashionista. It's all working.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so I think we've kind of like touched upon all the things that we were going to kind of cover.
And more.
And lots about Kurt Russell and his lovely hair.
Yeah.
The important stuff.
Important things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me have a little look. Is there anything else that, like, you want to touch upon, G?
No, I think what we were saying before was really, really interesting in terms of it's definitely the thing as a film isn't a room that can be entered by means of one key. You know, it's sci-fi, it's horror, it's got the isolation kind of vibes going through it, it's got the claustrophobia, it's got the paranoia, and obviously it's got the puppies who I love, and like body horror. It's got so many elements because it is a sci-fi horror film, isn't it? Really, and I think the way it bridges kind of the gap between those genres and has this plethora of horror subcategories, if you like, in it. It's just, I love it. I think it's so good.
Yeah,
it's kind of a gateway dog film.
Gateway dog film.
Good, yeah. It's a gateway dog film. You could go from this to Snow Dogs or Homeward Bound, Beethoven.
The Homeward Bound is less upsetting than no, this is less upsetting than Homeward Bound. This film.
Homeward Bound is traumatizing.
It's the worst.
A Dog's Journey. Most dog films are quite upsetting. The dog always dies at the end.
All dogs go to heaven. I mean, that whole franchise,
101 Dalmatians.
Oh, I should bear that the other day.
102 Dalmatians.
Oh my god!
Oh dang!
Yeah, I think you're right.
For real, Snow Dogs is an incredible film.
Balto as well, if we're talking snow.
That's like my favorite film ever made. Sure.
I forgot about that.
Let's see a movie from the dog's point of view of the thing. So we can see
Or it'd be kind of short, but like
a couple of them get away, don't they?
Yeah. Well, if it was like if it was the
off camera,
maybe from like the original dog from the Norwegian camp.
Yeah, we wouldn't understand what you're saying.
Get out! Cancel the whole show.
Because it starts off just like two guys trying to shoot a bloody dog.
Yeah,
grenade it as well.
What are you doing?
Catch, just say catch, fetch, sorted.
That's it. That'll be enough for me. I'll be like, I'm leaving. I'm walking out the cinema. Like, you're not threatening the dog.
It's already learned though, like what to do as a dog to make humans like it. Jump up, licking it. Come on.
Yeah, because straight away he's just going for like the cuddly offense, and then. But I think when he sits like when the dog's under the pool table, and he's just like a big stuffed animal, like just sitting there. Like that dog is so well trained. Like all of them are.
Yeah. And then kind of like the way it kind of creeps around corridors and stuff into that guy's room. Yes.
It just puts its head out and he's like,
yeah.
And I was like, that's so unsettling, and it's just a dog.
Yeah.
But I know that there's something wrong with it. It's a suspicious dog.
Dog sus.
Dog sus, yeah. Evacuate the sus.
Evacuate the sus dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you're right though. Like, there's so many elements, but they don't get like horrendously muddled or like lost. Like they still work like really well, like all together.
And it's a massive like ensemble cast as well, you know. So, and the balance of it is great as well.
Yeah, because like as much as I can't really remember anybody's name, but like I feel like I remember them all. Maybe because of how they all died, but there's like when you're watching it, you're like, shit, yeah, this like, where's that guy gone? He's not actually been here for a while. Oh, he's in the beard.
Yeah, you're like distrusting certain guys, aren't you? You're
Yeah.
sort of like going, he's definitely the thing, and then you do the test, he's not the thing, and you go, sorry, mate. I mean,
Oh damn!
All right, my
Sorry.
bad. Awkward. Yeah, I think that's really speaks to like the writing as well as like the direction for how misled you are so easily, and you're trying to like form your own ideas of who the thing is or where it is next, and like you always kept guessing, and you're not. It's almost like a whodunit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like
if I was the guy on skates, I would have stayed on the skates the whole time because I would have gone, an alien's not going to know how to skate. I mean,
yeah,
I'm obviously,
True.
I'm obviously not the thing.
Let's see him do this dancing, and you're like whole roller routine.
I know all the words to Stevie Wonder, so an alien's not going to know that either. I'm going to prove it.
This is all
Just start singing very superstitious.
Yeah, exactly.
Very sus.
Very suspicious.
Shit.
Yeah.
By the way, I had to Google. In the prequel, I'm pretty sure this would be the Thing's final form, like its true form. It's kind of like a grey buttocks with some eyes in I guess the middle bit. If you Google it, you'll see what I mean.
Grey buttocks with the eyes in the. You mean like?
What am I googling? Grey buttocks.
The Thing.
The Thing prequel final form. Just give that a go.
The Thing prequel final form. Okay.
Like when it's in the ship and it's chasing Mary.
Yeah.
Once.
Oh yeah. I think I remember it like
that. Oh yeah, it does look like a butt.
Yeah. It looks a bit like the one of the Brainbug from from Starship Troopers.
I don't like it.
Yeah, it's creepy.
Do you know what? I'm really glad that they didn't we never really see it properly because it looks stupid. Like, I'm just gonna put that out there.
That's kind of the point, isn't it? I guess just
its arms,
But then again, has he been on another planet and he's learned to look like something else?
Good point. Yeah,
I like that better.
That's better.
Than the stupid bell end head guy. Sorry.
Not him again. God damn.
Bitten by a radioactive bell end.
It's so grim.
We'll be there. It's okay.
Radioactive bell end.
Just
he arrives on the planet and he was like, I've made such an error.
Like,
I'm just getting off here as quick as possible. This is the worst place.
He can feel the assimilation happening. He's like, no, please, no.
He's actually picked the Kurt Russell of that planet. He's like, I just got to get out as quick as possible with this beautiful one.
We should get like a movie of The Thing as well, where he's having like an identity crisis. He's like, I don't even know who I am anymore. When I look in the mirror, I can't even see my face.
Just really unfortunate things every time. And he's like, oh, I'm a dung beetle again.
I would say it as a dog myself.
Again.
Live life as a dog. That's a great way to live.
Yeah. Everyone's going to love you, like wherever you go.
Why do you have to grow into more stuff? Just settle, mate. Be grateful for what you've got.
Greedy.
So they do make a couple of points where they say that it's assimilating people to try and get rid of all the threats, and once it's assimilated everybody, it's got nothing to be afraid of, and it can carry on. But then Blair, when he's doing all his computer things, where do you get that software as well that's going to predict how long it's going to take for the alien to assimilate the whole of the Earth?
It's like probably 27,000 hours. I just ballpark, maybe.
And he goes, not on my watch. Got a gun in here, right? That's it.
Got a bottle of Smirnoff and a gun. Sorted.
Right, here we go. I'm gonna save the world. That's just mad, isn't it? Like how he's managed to. What data is he feeding into it for it to go? Oh yeah, that's
like really good at Excel, and he's like, I've got this spreadsheet, right? And I reckon.
That computer though, it literally looks like he's running like the Snake game on it. It's just okay, so you can figure that out. Cool, right?
Good at it.
Yeah.
I'd imagine like a bigger budget, grander scale version of The Thing as well, where it is assimilating the world.
That'd be cool. That's kind of like where The Thing, They Live, sorry. It kind of reminds me of the film. What's it called? Oh, The Thing.
sounds great. I really want to see it, Luke. Where can I watch it?
No, They Live, that's like the end result in a way. Like they've assimilated and have taken over.
I feel like Tom Cruise would be in it if they made like another new one.
Running.
Yeah.
Running a lot, jumping.
Speaking of unfortunate things to assimilate into.
Oh my god, go on. Yeah, Tom
Tom
Cruise.
Cruise.
Yeah, it would be one of his creepy
He'd
dates.
assimilate into Tom Cruise and go, is this really how tall he is?
Yeah.
Has he really got a tooth in the middle of his head?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the bit I was referring to. Yeah.
If you could
You'd
assimilate
take your
into
lifts off and you'd be like, I knew he was only 3'2".
Interview with a Vampire Tom Cruise, fair game. Anything else? No.
You'd have to get straight out again. The madness of it in his head would like turn you strange.
Tony Strange.
The
I'm a
madness
Scientologist now.
You'd be like, damn it, I should have stayed in the
Oh,
madness.
they'd be made up, wouldn't they? Can you imagine? Oh, they would be made up with Scientologists if that happened.
So grim.
Look, we've even got a thing with this.
You don't have a thing.
Look at our thing on its throne. Grim. I feel like
With
we've
its bell end
offended some
head.
people. Yeah, that's what it would prefer, but like, gotta leave Tom Cruise and get back into this one.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Wait, which one's the bell end head?
Exactly. Hey!
Now the question for you, Heather.
Oh,
Is there anything else that you want to cover, or can we go into the Instagram questions / name game?
oh yeah. Let's do the little Instagram comments, and then we'll do the name game.
Cool. We've got to try and figure out if we've like duplicated name game things here. Okay.
Yeah.
Exciting. Okay, so from our peeps on Instagram, Jamie Martin said he really likes it, especially when they frame thrower the guy's head off and it grows spider legs and runs off. That's his favorite part.
That's a good part.
Yeah, it's
It is
a
a
good
good
choice.
part. Yeah, that's probably the most memorable part, right?
Yeah, I
Spider
think so
thing
for
running
sure.
across the
Yeah.
floor. Yeah.
It's spinning around as well, isn't it? When it's getting flamethrowered. It's almost like doing a little performance. Little dance.
Look at me dancing. Yeah, and Georgie Broad said that her favourite part is Kurt Russell's hair.
Yeah.
So,
I stand by that. I mean, obviously, beautiful cinematography, really interesting use of light and colour when it comes to flares being used in a snowy space with the red and the fire, but mostly Kurt Russell's hair.
Mostly. It's pretty much his own character, Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell's hair. Not Kurt Russell, because he is his own character, but
He
his
is his own
hair.
hair.
Separate being. A separate
Yeah,
Yeah.
separate
entity.
elite being.
yeah.
I love the fact that they've got flamethrowers knocking about as well. It's great.
Yeah.
What do they use those for? For like melting their way out of tight
Maybe.
spots. I don't know.
When one of the guys, when one of the
Maybe.
guys comes up to Keith David and says, "Mac wants to bring the flamethrower," he's like,
As the
"Bring
freezer
what?"
frozen over again.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. And also
Yeah.
I feel like they have like they're not concerned at all for like burning the whole base down. Like if I used that just like in my living room, my house would burn down and my neighbour and probably like
They
a
do
bunch of
try
other
to
people.
maintain it a bit by putting it out after a certain while,
Mm.
but it doesn't seem like it's long enough. Let it burn.
Yeah. I think they've got like all the stuff they need to stop a fire quite quickly, haven't they? With the ice and
No.
that. You just chuck it on.
Yeah.
Snow.
Just open a window, chuck it out.
It'd be really embarrassing, wouldn't it? I mean, it's going to be embarrassing if help
Yeah.
does eventually arrive and they go, "You've burned down a whole base in the middle of the snow," when they've gone.
Yeah.
Especially when they're like there was
Nobody's
no,
perfect.
there was no alien either. Like
I'll get my things.
oops.
Literally.
Yeah.
All right. Take it away, Dodgy B. Let's play some name games.
Okay. I'm going to cede to Luke first. You may go first. You are our guest.
Oh, okay. So on our show, Horror Hangout, we do the name game, which is where I describe sort of the plot of a film that is very similar to the film we've been talking about. And then you guys have to guess the name of the film and it will rhyme with the name of this film. So I guess if you've got the same one, we'll find out as we go.
If I have it written down, Scout's on it, I won't answer the question.
Okay, cool. You guys ready?
Yes.
Okay, so the first one. It's a film that's very similar to The Thing, but in this one, an ancient alien is awoken in a block of ice, not because he's thawed out and not because he wants to take over humanity, but he just got a notification on his phone. You know what that one's called?
The Ding.
The Ding. Correct.
Okay, that's a good one. I didn't have that one. That's good. Okay.
Uh,
I will go. Which one should I go for? A creature from the Antarctic ice assimilates the cells of other creatures and wants to take over humanity. Turns into a Japanese horror film franchise about spooky videotapes.
The Ring.
Yeah.
I was like, a manatee. It rhymes with humanity.
Okay, so there's this one there's this film that I watched the other day. It's really good. It's about an ancient alien that takes over people and turns them into exact replicas of a funny 90s sitcom character.
Chandler Bing.
Chandler Bing.
The Bing.
The Bing.
The Bing.
That is good.
I like that.
That's
one.
strong. I like that. Okay, one more from me. This, I don't know if you've heard about it. Someone told me about it the other day. Really good bit of gossip. So there's this creature, right, that was found under the ice and it assimilates cells. And it's dead old and it's really dangerous and gross. But it had like this casual tryst with another creature, but it binned her off because it was afraid of commitment and didn't really fancy a long-term thing.
Fling.
Yes, the fling.
Nice. I was like, the divorcing?
That's quite good. Okay, well, this one is about this one I watched is about an ancient alien who's awoken, and all it wants is to head to the kebab shop for a deep fried bit of poultry.
The chicken wing?
The chicken wing.
Nice. Nice.
This is where I
Love
really
it.
start to pull at the tight concept of this game, and these will stop sounding like the film.
Oh,
Pretty
dude, my next one was this ancient alien that's uncovered after 100,000 years in the ice. Just assimilates to the capital of China.
The Beijing?
Assimilates to the capital of China.
Becomes the capital of China.
Just
Yes,
the whole
Beijing.
capital.
Okay, I've got one more for you.
Yeah.
It's about an ancient alien life form that wakes up one day and it says, "I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be engulfed. Every mountain shall be made low. The rough places will be made plains, and the crooked places will be made straight. And the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together." You seen that?
I just wanted to see how long you were going to go
That
on with the
was so
speech for, to be honest.
Amazing.
Martin Luther King Jr.
The Martin Luther King.
Love it. Beautiful.
Yeah, I think
I
I've
love
got
it.
one. I think I've got
Ooh.
one, but I've got no way of really. I'm trying to describe it without it
Well,
being
tell-
ridiculous.
that's what
but
it's
I'm gonna
about.
try. I'm going to try.
It's in the delivery, Ben, please.
It's basically the same film, but it's not set in Antarctica. It's set in Jamaica.
Oh, I know.
The Ting. Is it the Ting?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sure is, and I'm very, very sorry.
And rightly so, as you should be. I love it.
That was amazing.
I've got 3 more, but they're all banned. I think
Oh my
they're the
god,
best ones.
no, please lay them on me. Let's do it.
Okay.
This is like the best bit. Like, I'm going to scrap the whole episode and just play this.
Ancient alien. Makes your head spin around, do a little dancey dance, spider legs, assimilates into a canvas holster for a broken arm.
A sling. Nice. When you were like doing a dance, I was like, the Kylie Minogue?
That's a good one.
That popped into my head as
That's
well.
so
The
weird.
Kylie Minogue.
So there's this film about this creature. It's ancient and old and lives under the ice. I don't know if you've heard of it. But it like changes into proper like iced out, diamond encrusted, shiny jewelry.
Hmm.
Engagement
bling.
ring.
Hmm.
The bling.
Nice.
The bling. I feel like that's in my head somewhere. Have you done that before? Like, have we done the name game on our episode of the thing?
Is this insider knowledge?
Oh my god.
I don't know. I don't think so.
It's a long time
Delicious.
ago.
I might be able to tell.
He's just looking into his records.
like-
for,
I have got
Wait,
notes
consult
from when
the
we recorded the
files.
thing. No, I did normal trivia. This was before the name game was.
Before-
Oh, okay.
Was a
I
thing.
will allow it.
Yeah. Rob Bettine was 22 when he made the effects in this.
Oh,
Oh my god, I'm
Wow.
26. What have I
Roeb
done?
Botine.
the baby. Roeb Tiom.
Le bouton. Bouton. Amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I thought the name game for some reason was like you describe the thing badly and it can be other films. So when you were like, there's a creature under the ice and he's been woken up, but he doesn't want to take over, I was like, that's Captain America. And I was like, that's not the aim of
Should've-
this game at all.
Yeah.
I was like, just
I
gonna
would
let
have
you
accepted
guys
that as an
That's quite
answer.
good.
play around so I can
Yeah.
see what they're talking about.
that would be a good way to mix up the game at some point, I think.
I also had
Yeah.
Transformers.
I like it.
Optimus. It was good. Loved it. That name game was beautiful. And,
If you want more name game, you should definitely go and check out the Horror Hangouts podcast.
Absolutely.
Luke is far better at constructing these than myself. So, yeah,
About that.
absolutely, definitely worth checking out.
The way I try and get to these things to work. Have you ever seen like a squid get through a tiny hole? It kind of like contorts itself, and that's me trying to make one of these things work, like the chicken wing.
Yeah, that was strong. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Problem is, I just think of like everything that's not that. So I'm like a word association. So you say it, and I'm like, what could it be? And I'm like, oh yeah, it's meant to rhyme. I don't know why.
You're just shouting like,
not good at
kebab. Wait, no.
Yeah, that's it. You were like, I'm hungry. I'm going to the kebab shop. I was like, all right, chips and cheese. Like, I don't know what the answer.
Garlic bread with pizza, mate. Done so.
Yeah.
Perfect. Right. I think we'll wrap up on the name game. And thank you very much, guys, for coming to join us.
Thanks for having us on.
Talk about things.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're more than welcome. So where can we know more about you, hear more about you, hear the show, see what's going on?
So if you go into your podcast app of choice and search for Horror Hangout, I think we'll be the first ones that come up probably.
Nice.
I hope so.
I hope so.
Not.
Having words, if
Someone's
not.
gonna get it.
Follow us. Our little studio, we call it, is Hawk and Cleaver. I'm on Twitter at Luke of Kondor. It's Kondor with K of Kondor. And Ben is
at Ben_Errington on all platforms, all of them.
Yeah.
Nice.
Love that.
We'll post some links in the episode descriptions so you can find everybody nice and easy.
Awesome.
And yeah, thank you very much. We'll see you again soon. And we'll be back with another episode next week. And next week's episode is
American Werewolf in London. One of my favourite films ever. And I'm very excited to talk about it.
Yeah. That's going to be a good time. All right. And that's all for now. So we'll see you all very soon.
Cheers.
Bye.
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 Bye.